Yo, what up? It's the youngest chief, and I can't really sleep right now, but I just wanted to. I just was watching a video on YouTube about the shadow side and how the shadow side is really something to embrace. And I just wanted to say that I just want to give my experience about my own shadow side and how I've come to find my authentic self by first embracing my shadow side. So like I feel like in the past when I tried telling people like it's good to embrace your shadow side, I feel like they thought that they took it as like I'm okay with doing this thing and like that's just what it is. But I guess at the time I probably didn't communicate in a better way to let them know that like yes, I understand the things that I am doing are not okay to do, but I am working on or going to work on them to, you know, help balance myself back out. Because when you tell some, when, let's say for instance, somebody showed me a whole list of my shadows, I can't change that whole list overnight. That's just not, it's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna do that. So it's gonna take time for me to check off the list of things on my shadow. And the things that are the easiest to check off are probably the things that I'm gonna start on because if you make a list, like it feels good to check things off the list. So why not start with the easiest tasks, right? Those looking on the outside, from the outside looking in, which task are they gonna want you to check off? Probably the number one biggest shadow side, right? Because that is the one that they see is the biggest issue, right? The biggest issue is going to be the one that is going to be the hardest one to heal. It's going to take the most time, the most effort. It's not going to happen right away. But if somebody is working on themselves in their shadow side and just checking off the small things, the little things first, you should, or like, not you should, but for myself in my experience, I feel like that got overlooked a lot, like from others around me, that I was checking off like the easier tasks and I was starting to feel better and better about myself, but everyone around me still was like, yeah, but you're still doing this and this and this. And it's like, okay, I understand that, but it's like, can you at least say like you see me, like you understand that I am putting an effort at least to like slowly but surely like become a better version of myself? Like, can you just like let me hear that I'm like they appreciate the effort or whatever? And it's just like, because if you're working on yourself and someone's like, why haven't you fixed this? It's like, okay, like why can't you just support me and say like, yo, you're doing you're doing a good job. Like change takes time. It's gonna occur. It's not gonna happen overnight. But I feel like that is an issue as well with like, I don't know. There's always some stereotype too about how perfect our lives are, and we don't want to let people in and show them how we're struggling inside. We just want, you know, Instagram models, just social media just wants to show everybody that life is perfect, everything is great. And so like I feel like it's for validation from others to for others to say, you know, that's a really good thing that your life's going good. Like I'm proud of you. I'm I'm happy for you, right? But if you tell someone your life is going great when inside like you're really just struggling, for one, that person who says, well, I'm really happy for you, that is like bad, that is like spell work almost in a way. It's like putting it back onto yourself, basically. It's like, if you feel horrible within yourself and then you say everything is perfect, and they're like, that's really good, I'm happy for you. They are really feeling happy for you feeling this pain inside yourself. They're really just adding on to the pain that you're feeling because it's not true. But they don't know that. They think that everything is perfect. So it's like, that's why I try not to tell, like, my life is not perfect. Like, there's a lot in life that I still, not a lot, there's a lot I've worked on and changed, but I still could use some healing in some area in my ways of thinking, just my like thought patterns, and just my substance use as well. They're like, I think everything's good in moderation, and only I know for myself what is good for me and what is not. And I just know that I could do it like less, even though I have, from where I started to where I am now, I am very much like at a very very good place, and I'm very proud of myself. I've seen how far I've come, and I'm very very proud of myself. But see, like, that's what embracing your shadow side is. It's like I see like what I need to work on, but I still love myself at the end of the day. Whether I have things I need to work on or not, I still love myself. I still see myself for who I am and what I know myself to be. And I am perfect the way I am in my own eyes, regardless of what anybody else thinks. So I understand that I have a bad habit. I understand that I am working on it. And I understand that I have come so far from where I used to be. And like, that is something to be happy for, instead of thinking like, no, everything's good, everything's fine, everything's perfect. It's like, no, like, I have issues. I'm not perfect. I still have things I can work on. But me, like, embracing that and opening up to that, it's able to let others in to help me, basically. It's able to like feel, it's able to let others know what's going on with me, so that they can either like help me in a, like, or see I'm struggling and understand, like, okay, or like offer assistance, or, you know. But if I just say everything is fine, everything's perfect, everything's right, they're not gonna offer any help. Or why would they? Like, they don't, closed mouths don't get fed. So if I don't communicate that, I could use some assistance, like, they're not just gonna be like, yo, I know you need assistance, so here I am. That's not gonna happen. But it's healthy to embrace the shadow side. When we can acknowledge a pattern or behavior within ourselves that we are working on, then that is when the healing process can begin. Because a lot of people don't even notice the things that they are doing may be negative or affecting them. It's because it's become a habit. It's become a way of their living. Someone growing up and seeing something like their whole life, they're not going to understand that, like, other people don't like do that, things like that. I don't know, but so when someone points something out to someone, a a lot of people get defensive. They're like, okay, but so and so does it as well. So like, what doesn't like all everybody in the whole planet smokes weed? Well, it's like over half the people in the United States have like a DUI on their record. It's like, okay, those are just excuses though. Don't let nobody make excuses. Like, respect your friends that will call you on your bullshit, or like, those are the friends that want to see you elevate yourself to your like fullest potential. The friends that are okay with, you know, going out to bars and like getting drunk and then driving after and whatever. The ones that do that and allow that like type of behavior to happen, either A, they don't want a good life for themselves, or B, like they don't care about seeing you succeed in your own happiness or whatever. Because if somebody did care about you and like your well-being and they wanted what was best for you, they're not gonna let you drive drunk or whatever the case may be, or they're not gonna let you do something that they think is not right. But those are the best people that you want to keep around. But I understand, like, when people say something about me at first, I get very defensive as well. But it's like planting a seed, because when I like go to sleep at night, I reflect back on the things that they told me, and then I'm thinking like, you know what? They're probably right. And most of the time I get defensive and pissed off because I know they're right. It's like, yeah, I know they're right. Fuck, why do they have to be right? But it's like, it's not right or wrong. It's just like, it's just helping you. Like, somebody that wants to help you improve like your way of living and becoming a better version of yourself, you should thank that person or love that person or cherish the fact that they want genuinely what is best for you. And yeah, in today's day, I feel like a lot of people stop working on themselves too in their shadow side because it seems like it goes unnoticed. You know, the ones doing the healing work and all that stuff, they don't really hear positive things from others that often, or at least in my experience, I haven't. Maybe it's because I don't know. I just, but it almost goes unnoticed because a lot of people are caught up in their own busy lives to like just say, "Yo, I see all the hard work you're doing. I see, like, you've changed a lot and you're doing a really good job. Like, keep it up." So it's almost like somebody going through that or somebody changing and stuff like in ways like that. They think to themselves like, what is it for even? Like, why am I even doing this? Does it even matter if I'm improving? Like, if I'm changing for the better? Because like nobody even notices anyway. No, that's completely false. Even if somebody does not notice, like in the physical 3D, the work that you put in towards yourself can have such a large impact on the whole world because we are connected as a collective. So that is why one person like Jesus can change the vibrations of a whole planet. Even though people across the world might not have known Jesus, they can still feel that energy of, okay, there's something special here on earth. There's something changing. There's something different that is going on right now because I can feel it. Does that make sense? So it's like, even if it goes unnoticed, from people around you, no, people pick up on it regardless if they say it or not. So, like, the best way that you can help the universe is to ultimately just help yourself. I know that sounds like selfish, but you can't help somebody else if you can't help yourself. You know, if you're not in the position to offer assistance or help, then ultimately, like, you both end up struggling or needing help. And that is why I've had to also be careful, or like, I have to know and understand when I need to take time for myself again. Like, when I need to recenter myself in order to be able to help others again. Because if I don't, like, balance out my own energies, then there's just a bunch of off balance, like, energy down. And that is what I have been learning to do lately, is just, like, distinguish my own energies from those of others, and when it is appropriate to step in and offer my help if they need it, or when I'm like, no, I really can't help you at this time because I'm not right within myself. Does that make sense? And yeah, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. But that is just, it is so important to work on yourself. It is so important to see a better way of living for yourself. And if you can see a better way of living for yourself, it's important just to do the small things in life towards working and working towards it. Because it's not going to happen overnight. And just because you fail, or like just because you slip up and do something, you know, a handful of times, well, see, this is my example. So, like, when I stopped swearing for a while, every time I'd swear, I'd tell myself, stop it. Do not do that. That's not okay to do. In my head. Exactly right after I said it, I'd say, why did I do that? That's not okay. Like, Tyler, knock it off. And pretty soon after, like, the 5th, 6th, 7th time of swearing, I started stopping myself. Like, it got better. It started improving. Because I was consciously letting myself know that that is not okay to do. Knock it off. Stop. If you can redirect and catch yourself in the moment, that is how the change begins. Because those are the habits that we are programmed into having from growing up, from trauma, or like just like our experiences. So if you are trying to work on yourself, it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to go from here to here, a complete 180, and it's going to be perfect right away. It's going to take some time. And the best thing, like, a friend could do is just be supportive and understanding that it's going to take time, and, like, to set boundaries. Like, yeah, I see, they could be like, yeah, I see that you're working on this, but if this keeps happening, like, this amount of times, like I don't want to be around it, type of thing, you know what I mean? Something like that. But, or like, I see you're doing this thing, and I can't be in the physical around you to offer my support, but I can, you know, support you from a distance because I need to protect my own energies, basically. And it's like, if somebody really wants to help you and support you and, like, be there for you, whether it's in the physical or the not, they'll, like, they'll support you, basically. And just because someone can't be there, like, physically to support you, doesn't mean that they don't care about you. Because somebody can offer support for somebody that doesn't have to be in the physical. Does that make sense? So, but that is all I got for right now. Um, yeah, just learn to embrace the shadow. The shadow is beautiful when you learn to embrace it, because then you can have true love and respect and for yourself, whether because we all ultimately deserve love and respect, and regardless of what we do, everyone deserves to be loved. So if you can see those flaws within yourself and you still find the love within you, that is when you can start to work on, the steps of healing. But it first must come with acknowledging, it first must come with loving yourself and then acknowledging that you want to change and for something better to occur. And it is possible. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. So, we're not perfect angels. We're not the worst people or demons of demons. We have both energies within us. It's about finding that balance. It's about that give and take. Because none of us are going to have completely one side or completely the other side. We're going to have a mix of both. But it's about finding the balance within all things, basically. And that is what embracing the shadow means. Because I might not be perfect, but I'm wholesome. I'm authentic. I'm myself. I've learned to love myself for the things that someone else may seem as horrible, but I know damn well that person as well has skeletons in their closet that they experience as well. That's why I don't care that they think this is bad. That person should not be doing that. Okay, I understand. I'm trying to work on it. What are some of the skeletons that you have in your closet, though? Or because that's what society likes to think, is that they, no one wants to take a look at themselves and their own behaviors and patterns. But a lot of people will be quick to judge somebody else for what they do. And I can be guilty of that as well. But I understand a lot of what I do that is negative, that I'm trying to work on. But still, I love myself, while those who try to hide it and don't want people to know that they have that part of themselves within themselves, I don't know. Those are the ones that just try to paint their picture that everything is perfect. But those are the ones struggling inside that really need the help the most, I feel like. Because I know when I told people nah, everything's good in life, but I was just dying inside. I just wanted people to know that yo, I'm dying inside, but I just don't know how to ask for this help, type of thing. But when I started learning how to do it, then I started getting the help I needed. But yeah, you can't get the help that you need unless you speak up about it. Or if you want help, you need to speak up about it, because people aren't just gonna come around just taking care of problems for you, because life just don't work like that. But you can't work on healing yourself if that shadow side is not embraced. So that is my perspective on what it means to embrace your shadow side. Learn to grow from your shadow. Learn to love and appreciate all that it is that you are, even if you do have flaws that others may consider whatever, because you are perfect, you are loved. I love you guys all. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Father, Son, Mother Earth. Thank you, Grandmother Moon. Thank you, Spirit Team, Ancestors. Thank you. Love you guys. I'm going to try to get some sleep. Yeah, Spirit told me that was a good one. They said I can go to bed now. Love you guys. Have a good night.